Hey everybody, coming to you from Kingston, Jamaica again to give you the insight on mangoes, right? This is mango time in Jamaica. It is June 2020, and typically at this time mangoes tend to be in season, usually towards the middle part of April. The season may die down towards basically towards the third to fourth week in July, early August, the latest. That's when the season starts to dwindle down, right? So June 2020, with temperatures as high as 33 degrees Celsius, we're basically approaching the pinnacle of the mango season. So even by towards the end of June 2020, that's when you should see the peak, the maximum influx of mangoes coming in. This tree, you can see that it really was very fruitful in previous weeks. You can identify some, for example, these dried up parts. These were actually the branches off of which the fruits were picked and dried up, right? So we can see that, just looking around all the tree, you can see that definitely we had a blast. And today in this video, we're going to show you exactly how to identify a ripe Julia mango. You have a tree, all these different types of mangoes, so we're looking at these, but how do you know which one is the right mango to pick for you? How do you know that it's fit? How do you know it's time for the picking, it's time for the feasting, right? We're going to go through all of that today. Great. So the first thing that we're going to look for on the mango tree, okay, sometime here in St. Andrew, you know how you have a lot of students who come, and sometimes they have a mango tree, and sometimes they do not really appreciate the fruit, but sometimes they also do not know how to reap the fruit. So this video is going to help to give you some insight on how to get that fit mango. So for example, we're going to look at this mango. I just saw it right here at a glance. We're going to test to see if it is fit. Please note that fitness of the mango does not necessarily mean that it is ripe, but it is still at an edible stage. For fitness, you are just testing to see if, when you look at it, the tip of the mango, that's the lower tip of the mango, that's right here, on that spot here, it is supposed to be, but it's supposed to have a relatively shiny finish. Notice, however, it does not have a shiny finish. It looks ripe. It looks ripe, but it looks fit rather, but it's not ripe. It can stay for a few days. Alternatively, in a case like this, you may pick it to put it down for a day. It may just get fit then, but you don't want to make a habit of that. It's always better to let the fruit stay fit. Pick it at the fit stage so you can get the maximum flavor from the mango, as well as to ensure that you have it at a nutritious stage, because typically when you say that you have a mango that's unfit, it means that it's also insipid and hazardous if eaten in that stage. Oh, under the mango tree, same mango tree, right? We are looking for fit mangoes, right? We're looking for the Julie mango. So persons for Julie, typically in Jamaica, they do not like when the Julie mango is soft, at a soft stage. So to avert having it at that stage, you simply would just try to catch the fruit in the fit stage, so that by the time you're ready for it, it will be just about ripe and not soft, because there is a small time frame between the ripened Julie mango and the actual softened ripe stage, because remember, as the fruit ripens, it gets soft, right? So we are looking for fit to ripe mangoes. How do you know if the Julie mango is fit? We're gonna test out that today, right? So we identify some mangoes in this spot. You'll notice that they're of various colors, right? 3 mangoes, 3 different colors. How to know which one is the fit one? How to know which one? So we notice that this one is closer to the right is a ripened color. So one indicator to know if it is fit for picking is to see how quickly it pulls away from the stem. So I'm going to try to grab it. If it is that it is really ripe, it's really fit for picking, it's going to just fall off into my hand with ease. You are going to test for the resistance from which it pulls away from the stem to which is attached. Alright, so let me just test that now. So there's some resistance, but it still was ready. So let's look at it now to identify. Right, so notice that in this case it looks pretty green, but at the same time you are noticing that the tip is showing, and you notice that it's not firm at all. There is some softness there, right? So that's an indicator. So it doesn't necessarily have to be green for it to be unfit. Sometimes it's actually ripe and are fit in this stage, and over the next few days it will start to, as Jamaicans normally say, turn, and it is edible, right? We'll look again to see if we see any more. Okay, right, so I spot one further right up there. Okay, let's see if we can get that right there. Got it. All right, so we're looking up in the tree, and we see that mango, right? I'm going to aim for it. So it's that mango right there. We're going to test for it to see the extent to which it actually pulls away from the stem to which it's attached, right? So you're noticing that the color looks fit. It's not all the time that it is a reliable indicator to test for ripeness, right? So you see that when I tried to pick it, it just pulled away very easily, looking for the mango. Right, so there it is. So it was fit. So I'll show you that subsequently to show you exactly what that looks like. So after the whole picking venture, this is the only 3 fruits, right? 3 Julie mangoes, but we're still grateful. You would recall this one that we picked. We explained initially that usually the color of the skin is an indicator of ripeness, but not necessarily all the time. Instead, what you can do if it is that the fruit is in reach, you can feel for it just to see if it is fully firm. Let me see if I can give you a contrast. So let's look at this one, for example. There's a significant difference in the feel, because if you notice, loosening the fruit, like it's not there, it's firm to the touch, right? By contrast, if you look at this one, you notice that we had seen that it was green, but when you feel it, it does some tenderness to at least the base. Typically for the Julie mango, the tenderness starts in the base and then it goes up in the fruit to test for degree of ripeness, right? So this one, we could tell that it was ready for picking based on obvious color, and of course certainly to the touch it is tender. Notice from the base, start from the base going right up. That determines the degree of ripeness, really. Alright, and the third one that we got, this one was picked based on the turned color from green to an off green color, maybe red, maybe yellow, but once it's turning away from the green color, that's when it's referred to as, in the Jamaican term, turned. Perfect stage for picking, and of course you can see the slight gloss on the skin as well to confirm fitness for picking. Great. So this is early July, following the previous picking venture of the Julie mango. As you can see that there is little to minimal Julie mangoes on this tree. So as we predicted, the Julie mango season has significantly dwindled down towards the month of July, and so this is the absolute look of the tree now, just pure blossoms, and this means that it is likely to fruit again towards the end of the year. By that time, those fruits should be in. Regrettably, sometimes those fruits tend to be very wormy. You tend to find a number of worms in them, so it's not usually the season that many persons look forward to getting a productive yield. But at the same time, you may find one or two that escape the venom of the worms and may actually be enjoyable during that season. The flavor may not also be as optimal as the fruits in the summer, because during the fall to winter time, quote unquote, in Jamaica, it tends to be a very rainy season, and typically during the rainy season there is not much flavor in these mangoes because the plant absorbs a lot of water during that time. Then the sweetness of the fruit tends to be diluted, so the mangoes are not necessarily as sweet, and as a result maybe not considered as flavorful by the very many. So for that reason, persons typically tend to enjoy the summer variety, because there is definitely a high chance that it's going to be a drought season where there is less rain, less intake of water by the trees, and as a result the fruits are more sweeter and more flavorful. So that's also another consideration of a mango season, why persons tend to enjoy the late spring to summer yield of the calendar year. Another important point to bear in mind in relation to your mango tree, in this case the Julie mango tree, but mango trees in general, is the safety precaution. Notice with this tree that it is highly bushy. By looking up into the tree, you are really unable to see the sun, you're unable to see anything, and this is daytime. So imagine if it's nighttime. And this is something to bear in mind, especially if a tree is located in a residential area, on a household property. As a safety precaution, you want to ensure that all your trees, you are able to, by looking up into it, you can see right through it, and that will ensure that no potential lurkers can use the tree as a haven for potential attack. So these are some things to consider as well when you're keeping trees in your yard. Again, I allude to the mango tree in this case because I have a prime example right here which I'm showing you. But furthermore, because it's a common tendency to overlook certain features of a tree, I just thought I would use this opportunity to bring it to your attention. So, key point to note as well, trim the tree in such a way that you can see up, you can see the sky by looking up into it, and in such a way maintain a balance of fruiting for the next season. It's also best to trim at this time because there are no fruits on the tree. By trimming any later when fruits are on the tree, Jamaican superstition normally has it that if you cut the tree when the tree is fruiting, that will incur bad blessings on the persons in the household and the persons who committed the act of cutting the tree while it's fruiting, and that bad luck will follow the person. So I'm not sure how true it is, but I know that definitely that has always been common belief in the farming agricultural world. So just to bear that in mind as well as it pertains to maintaining your mango tree on an annual seasonal basis. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to leave questions or comments down in the comment section below, as well as to hit the like and subscribe button for additional postings to this channel.